Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're listening from in the world. My name is Jacqueline Dixon, and you're tuned in to the Ordinary People Show. Ordinary people can do extraordinary things. And we're broadcasting live from Toronto, Canada, powered by GBKM TV Network, the home of GBKM FM radio and the home of GBKM 24-hour TV. I'm live in studio this morning and excited to bring you another blockbuster topic, of course, that can only be delivered by our ordinary people guests. Ordinary people do some really extraordinary things, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you, I'm excited about today's show. For those of you who follow me on social media, you know what time it is. It's time to like and share. Like and share the video. Whether you're watching it live or whether you're watching it on a rerun, I want you to like, share the video, tag a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend. And we are on various different platforms, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who are watching us on our GBKM Facebook page, which is GBKM Network, just type in GBKM Network on Facebook and bam, you're right there. And maybe you're watching us on our brand new home, which is www.gbkm.tv. That's our brand new website. And that is where we now reside 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, providing you with quality programming, live shows, news, entertainment, 24-hour radio, and so much more. Don't forget, when you're visiting us on our brand new website, which is www.gbkm.tv, you can download our absolutely free app. That way you can take us wherever you go. You'll never miss another Ordinary People show or any of the other wonderful live shows that we have on the platform. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to take a whole bunch of time with pleasantries, so let's give it up to our sponsor, of course, which is New Era Communications. New Era Communications provides professional sales training and is a speaking platform to up-and-coming entrepreneurs and sales professionals. Do you want to learn about the gift that keeps on giving? That would be called the sales process, ladies and gentlemen. And to find out more, you can contact neweracommunications.ca. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our first quick commercial break because my guest is waiting in the wings. Yeah, you know who it is. The Crypto King himself is live, and he's coming into us virtually from his crypto kingdom. And we're going to be talking to him right after the first commercial break. Listen, here's a tip for you. Go get a pen, go get a paper. Tell a friend to tell a friend, like and share the video, because you'll never be the same after this interview. I'll be right back right after the break.
My name is Carol, and I'm currently a project coordinator. I took the project management course. I learned a number of things, one of which was interview skills. I learned about the Agile framework and how that's very different from the waterfall model of project management.
At Top Run Consulting, the key unique area that we try to focus on is not to just impart certification knowledge, but the application of real-world tools.
Back in June 2017, I did the business analysis course at Top Run. I learned the basic and advanced skills and tools to be successful in business analysis field.
Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Ordinary People Show. My name is Jacqueline Dixon, and I'm your host today. And I want you to settle in with me for the next 45 minutes as we take you on a journey. It's a learning journey. It's one that's going to allow you to explore some financial options for yourself, some investment options, and opportunities that may currently exist in your portfolio, or maybe they don't. But most importantly, it's going to allow us to explore a topic of discussion which is taking up more and more time in various different social circles. It's all about cryptocurrency, fact or fiction. How much do you know about cryptocurrency? How much time have you spent learning about this new phenom? Or is it even new? Do you have a crypto wallet? And if you don't have a crypto wallet, are you thinking about getting one? maybe you need to know a little bit more about this product to determine whether or not this is for you. Well, I always believe that education is paramount and knowledge is power. So before I do anything, I make sure that I do my research and some serious research in, guys. And I'm proud now to share the information that I found about cryptocurrency with you. So, I don't know that you have maybe acquired any crypto yet, but let me share a quick story with you before I introduce my guest. For many years, since the crypto evolution started to kind of take hold of North America, I was a skeptic. I certainly did not believe that there could, in any way, shape, or form, be any validity or any trust in a virtual coin, virtual currency. I had no faith in it. Government wasn't involved with it. There were no regulations that were controlling it. And I was the furthest person away from being willing to invest in a product such as myself, with some people that know more than me when it comes to cryptocurrency and who have made a whole heck of a lot more money than I ever dreamed that crypto could have brought into anybody's life. And one of them is going to be my guest today, and he's waiting in the wings. And I want to introduce you, ladies and gentlemen, to the Crypto King, the person who gave me the confidence and faith to finally pull the trigger on cryptocurrency. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Peter Ratkinoff to the Ordinary People Show. Good morning, good afternoon, Peter. How are you?
Very good, very good, very good.
Fantastic. I'm excited to have you here. My listeners are excited to have you. My viewers are. We're going to take this thing to the next level today, okay? We're going to educate some people. We're going to remove some of the myths that are also currently out there, and we're going to calm some of the skeptics. So again, I started my story with the fact that I've been watching this cryptocurrency evolve for the last few years now, and I was a huge skeptic of it. And I tried to very much to do my research. You and I know each other very well. I've had numerous conversations with you over very long periods of time, and yet still nothing happened. But I finally felt confident enough that, you know what? This guy knows what he's talking about. He not only knows what he's talking about, he doesn't just talk the talk, he walks the walk. Companies. He is passionate as an entrepreneur, and since an early age has demonstrated that taking action is the only way to realize your dreams. Loyalty and perseverance are his main strengths, and he understands that the formula for success is a consistent effort over time. His mission is to shorten the length of time for everyone. As a millennial, he has spent the last 10 years immersed in complex inter-business transformation. In 2015, Peter discovered Bitcoin, immediately realizing the huge potential that this technology held. Since then, he has been on a mission to educate and inspire as many people as possible, and committed to put the world at the center of this disruptive and innovative technology trend. Wow, that's a lot to say. It's a lot to do. Peter, let's jump right into it. First of all, 2015. What happened to you in 2015?
My background story is started working at 11 years old, had a little Mickey Mouse business at 12, and my first corporation at 15. So by the age of 13, I was very familiar with our monetary system, which unfortunately most adults till this day are not even aware of. And I was doing my best to talk to adults, teenagers, whoever I watch movies. So I knew there was an issue with the monetary system or our money, the way every interaction we do as a human. 50% of every interaction, you want to get food, you want to get water, you want to have a shelter to live in, you want to have an experience, you want to buy your loved ones some flowers, whatever the case may be, we're using this form of interaction, which is currency, money. And the money that was around didn't make sense to me as a child. So I was waiting for something like Bitcoin, And to be real, by the time I was 20, I gave up. I didn't think there was going to be a solution. I was just like, okay, I'm going to grow up in a debt-based monetary system, actually be a life-changing technology. So when it came, I was like, it was almost too good to be true. It took me 3 weeks, sleepless nights, massive research to realize this is actually real in January 2015. And then since then, I've kind of never looked back when it came to the space.
Fantastic, fantastic. So January 2015 is when you pulled the trigger for yourself, and you're gung-ho, you're not looking back, and it's fair to say that you're self-made at this stage in the game, and one of your biggest missions right now is to help others to achieve the same freedom and security, financial security that you have been able to acquire at such a young age. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. And even in the early stages of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, when I was in it, I've seen people who put moderate investments amount, like things that weren't big numbers to them, things they will spend on several nights out. And I've seen them get down payments on houses and vehicles paid for and whatever, like huge parts of cottages redone. Like I've seen life-changing income in my short life of people around me. So people that are discouraged, like currency, it's still very early.
Thank you for that. So Peter, so listen, I'm going to be very kind to myself, and I'm going to say that I'm a little bit older than you, okay? And for individuals in my age bracket, I know that there are a lot of skeptics. There are a lot of people that don't trust this new currency, this new way of doing our people that are in the 40 plus age group, and but yet still the millennials keep flocking to this new technology, this new currency. Can you tell us, in your findings, in your research, is there any reason why individuals like myself, because remember how long it took me to finally pull the trigger, are so much more skeptical than a millennial would be for this currency? And is there any validity behind why we should be so skeptical?
Yes, okay, we're getting a little bit into opinions here, but I'll give you my honest opinion, right? The older generation, there's nothing wrong with it. You guys came up from a movie from 2017. Watch the speed of that movie. Things are like bang, 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 bang in the new movie. The old movie, you might have 15 minutes of plot introduction. That doesn't exist anymore. Also, the generation that's older, even when it came from institutions, you guys barely trusted checks back in the day when they came out. In your generation, I think credit cards came out. That was from the state. That was from the banks. And your generation didn't trust it for several years, right? So we're talking about things coming from institutions they were comfortable with. They had a hard time trusting that. Now we're going a whole different direction. Now we're trusting a new technology that's based on cryptographic mathematics that's ran on computers around the world. Of course, there's going to be a stretch. Now to address the younger generation, Instagram, and all of a sudden the older people jumped on Instagram. All of a sudden there's TikTok, Twitch, and you think the kids are guessing, 3-time guessing, second guessing, that, oh, should I switch from Instagram to TikTok? It's a matter of click, 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 and they're already on TikTok. Then seconds later, they're learning how to use the platform. Within a few minutes or hours or a few short days, they're a minor expert in this new platform. So change has been a standard they grew up with. That's a norm. And now we're talking about a technology that's new, and for the older generation that's not used to transitioning like that, of course it's going to be difficult. But for the young generation, that's all they've ever known, jumping from platform to platform to platform. So this is just another platform. Yes, maybe it cost them a few dollars or cents to start learning the technology instead of just time, but it's not that much of a big gap. For a young person, like, okay, I'll spend 20 or 200 bucks on something nonsense anyway, so why not learn this new technology? So they're more adapt to take the risk of just, let me find out what this is, where that's the opportunity.
Thank you so much. You explained that so well. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so now let's break that down just a little bit, because I want to support everything that Peter has just shared. When you talk about the evolution of technology, technology never evolves backwards. Never. Technology only evolves forward. So whatever technology experiences that we currently have in place today, you can bet in another 5-10 years from now, it's going to be 10 times potentially end up going. This is where Bitcoin now and cryptocurrency start to make sense. Because if technology only advances, then cryptocurrency definitely is not going anywhere. So now let's just talk about how new this cryptocurrency really is. So I did my research, and for those of you, older folks, more mature folks, it's really not that new at all. Crypto actually, or digital currency, started as early as 1984 is when it started to come about. And then since then, Bitcoin was actually started, the actual currency Bitcoin, that when it was worth 0.000 cents. Today, it would be easy and fair to say, Peter, that a $1,000 investment in 1998 in Bitcoin would have landed you somewhere in what proximity today?
So I'm going to just correct you a little bit so we have the stats right.
Okay.
Bitcoin, the white paper, which is the concept, came out on Halloween 2008. And the first Genesis block, meaning the first Bitcoin block, came out January 3rd, 2009. So it's only been about 11, 12 years. What you're regarding to, I think, is a bunch of cypherpunks who were attempting to make digital currencies as early as the 80s. And there might have been one that was, I think, would be a digital currency, just like a Bitcoin was. But that was the same goal. But it ended up being too much difficulties with regulations, the technology, whatever the case may be. And they pivoted and became PayPal, which obviously did really well. So there's been many attempts to make digital rarity. That's the problem that Bitcoin solved. But it didn't exist till January 3rd, 2009. It's actually only been 11, 12 years or so since the first block came out. And to answer the money question, Bitcoin was worth nothing. It was worth a few pennies when it came out. So even somebody that would have just held anything at that point would be extremely $1 or $50 that could ever be where it is one day, right? People, when it was 6 cents, when it reached $1, celebrated. That was like, it went par with the US dollar. People never thought that would happen. And then at one point it went from $30 and it dropped all the way to $6. So around these times, when you have the first investors, the first people coming in that might have held it. When it was pennies, it's not realistic. It was an experimental technology that mostly guys deep into tech were experimenting with. But once you started having it go to, let's say, $1, it ran up to $30, it went back. It might even go back down to $2. It went from 30 to either $6 or $2. I don't remember exactly. But that's a huge dip, right? So around that time would be the most realistic, earliest time, I would say investors and people that were just interested in the technology got in. Before that was literally people who were just into literally like coding.
Cryptocurrency, that's the first time it kind of showed some promise, is what I'm hearing you say. The fact that it could actually go to as much as $30 and then drop back down to $2 shows that there was something going on with this currency. There's something potentially very favorable that can happen with this investment in the near future. So jumping in at that stage in the game would have made you a multi-gazillionaire, I'm sure. But now let's fast about 45,000 Canadian dollars today. And my understanding that, the markets fluctuate throughout the course of the day, but we're in and around that $45,000 range. One coin, am I understanding that correctly? One coin is valued at approximately 45,000 Canadian dollars.
Yeah, so it's about 34 usually in the space, so everyone's on the same page. So it's about 34 today, and it just dipped down from about 39 last night, to give you a perspective.
Okay, so 34,000 US dollars is currently where it's sitting at around right now. Now, my understanding also is that had actually risen to as much as $70,000 in this same year, 2021. Is that right? A slump, and it's down to about 30-odd thousand. But let me ask you a question. You being in crypto as long as you have, having as much confidence in crypto and making yourself hugely successful with this product, Do you feel in any way, shape, or form right now nervous? The fact that you've gone from, I mean, you've obviously seen your assets diminish right in front of your eyes. And what did you feel like at that time when it happened?
So it's a little inside joke of cryptocurrency for people that have been around a little bit longer. So if you bought Bitcoin 1 year ago today, it was about $7,000, right? So at the peak,
Wow.
that's almost 10 times, right? Let's say you could have got it at 65. So if you could make your 10 times your money in a year and you can't handle losing 50% temporarily, well, you don't deserve to make 10 times your money. That's still 5 times your money from last year. So I don't know what other investors made 500% return.
Yeah, fair enough. Thank you so much for that. So listen, do you consider cryptocurrency then a very good investment for anybody at any stage in their life, whether you're a millennial or maybe you're a Generation Z, a Generation X? Do you consider cryptocurrency a good investment?
There's nothing that's outperformed Bitcoin on this planet in the last 10 years. There's not an investment you can name. We could have a debate about it. We could pull out statistics and numbers. But there's nothing in this whole planet you could invest in that performed better than Bitcoin in the last 12 years. And I think that statement alone is
That's now have a crypto wallet. And yes, I have taken a bit of a hit. My crypto wallet has taken a hit. But you know, when I decided that I was going to be in this for the long run, not just because I talked to Peter and he gives me confidence, but because I looked at my crypto wallet and I saw how much my crypto wallet was down. And then I looked at my mutual funds and I said, I'm buying more crypto because I've lost more money in mutual funds this year than I've lost in crypto, period. So for those of you who have your monies invested in mutual funds and stocks, and I've got some great mutual funds, I've got, and every other type of, bonds, in the last 10 years, and yet still they cannot, or it has not performed the way that Bitcoin or cryptocurrency has performed. And that's what sold me. Because if you can take a hit on your mutual funds, you can definitely take a hit on your crypto and still survive, because it is nothing like the dip that we're currently seeing right now. That being said, there is somebody that we in the crypto world cannot stand to his name up, because a lot of people are blaming him right now. For those of you who are not in the crypto world and do not know to what degree of an influence Elon Musk has been playing in the crypto world, then you gotta listen to this. Or you got to do your research and find out. So Elon Musk, as you know, entrepreneur who co-founded PayPal, and he founded aerospace transportation services company SpaceX. He is also one of the early investors in Tesla. That's the an electric car company. And now he's one of the chief executive officers of that firm as well. He has a net worth within the top 10 richest persons on the planet. He invested $1.5 billion in Bitcoin. Am I correct, Peter?
Yep.
That investment that he made into Bitcoin is what they're saying caused Bitcoin to surge in the last year. His skirt tails and making a whole bunch of money as a result of his actions. Now, he has recently put out a couple tweets over the last few months that have caused the Bitcoin currency prices to take a tumble. How much of an influence do you believe that Elon Musk plays in the world of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency?
So I'll give a two-part answer, right? So there's 100% FUD that goes on and strategic market manipulation. Mostly it's so the price could go down and the people that are manipulating could buy more at the low. Second part, to me, Elon Musk is the new Donald Trump of the modern era. Because if Donald Trump in the 90s, I'm talking about Donald Trump in the 90s now, he was very rich, one of the richest people on the planet. He was in movies like Home Alone, and he wanted to be a celebrity. These guys, when they reach billionaire status, sometimes you could buy everything, every experience. But what is a news outlet's job? To do news reporting. What's more exciting than a tech billionaire who's looking for attention to write about when the market's crashing? When a market goes from like $10,000 parabolically up to 65, it's natural for it to correct. And when it corrects, there's going to be tons of people writing tons of news medias justifying it. But I explain my logic a little bit more. Elon Musk is already well known amongst the baby boomers and the older generation. Why is he so adamant about Dogecoin? Because it's trending on TikToks with Generation Z and all the younger people. So he wants to reach it. Why did he go on Saturday Night Live? Because that's the middle age. It's not the baby boomers, it's the age in between. So he wants to hit every age demographic to be a celebrity, because it's something so trendy to give him more celebrity status. And
But Peter, can I just interrupt and say, listen, for the skeptical newcomer to Bitcoin, somebody who really truly does want to make a decision as to whether or not they're going to put some dollars into this program or not, knowing that a person like Elon Musk can simply put out a tweet or show up on SNL, and then the next day or overnight their investment plummets, that doesn't give you a lot of confidence. How do you work with that type of situation?
Don't listen to what they do. Do what they do. Read the statement. There's a 3-paragraph statement when he came out talking about the negativity about Bitcoin. This, that, the third, the power. But read the first sentence in the second paragraph. We are not selling any Bitcoin. Very, very likely here in a month, 3 months from now, or the next quarterly report, that they bought another 1.5 billion at the same price range. And then what? The price is going to go back up and you're going to say, oh, it's Elon Musk? No, he's one of many people that are manipulating the market. There is strategic. When regular people miss an opportunity, we miss the opportunity. When the big institutions miss the opportunity, they bring the opportunity back, get involved, and then let it go to the masses. The people that control the majority of wealth on this planet are not going to miss something like this. They're going to make sure they do what it takes to get involved on whatever level they're comfortable at. So that's just what happened. Seems like he caused that flood because he tweeted the day it crashed. But if you look at some of the tweets, he's literally tweeting at the bottom of the market. So how could he cause that crash if he tweeted when it was already at the bottom? So you gotta look at the facts more than the opinions.
Okay, that sounds solid to me. Now, when you look at it from that perspective, see, this is why I enjoy talking to you. And anytime I talk to you about crypto, I just want to go out and buy a whole bunch of crypto. So, and seriously, I'm just seriously talking from my perspective. Here's what I did. So what happened when I saw crypto starting to slide in a way that I didn't like, of course, and when it dipped to levels where people were starting to panic, and it seemed like people were panicking because they were selling off a whole bunch of crypto, you know what I did? I went and bought more. Because I knew going anywhere. This is not a fad. This is not just a hype for the flavor of the month. Crypto's here to stay. Is it going to evolve over time into whatever it evolves into? Yes. But at the end of the day, it's not going anywhere, and he sold me on that, and that's why I'm hanging in for the long run. But for those of you who don't know much about crypto, there is a video. I just want you to take this in, and here's your Crypto 101 sales lesson for those of you who have no idea about crypto and how crypto works. So I thought this was really cute. Now, by the way, we do not own the rights. Also, a really simplistic way to understand. Thank you so much. You know what? Complicated. Don't overthink it. It's not that difficult to understand. I wanted, to deliver that information in a very funny way to put a lot of skeptics at ease. Now, Peter, let's get serious here. Got a couple questions before we wrap up today's interview. People are watching and they're saying, well, if Jackie can buy crypto, how does an individual end up making the purchase?
Okay. So before I get sidetracked, I'm going to answer the question, but I'm going to do a quick little rant correcting Elon Musk. So the first two things is what makes this technology special is digital rarity, meaning there's no matter how much demand happens, there's only going to be 21 million Bitcoins, no matter what. There's already 18.5 in circulation, right? There's only 113 million or so Ethereum, and it's deflating slowly. So it might have a market cap one day of 150, 200, but it's still capped. Dogecoin, I don't like that it's fiat currency. And actually 10,000 get created every second. That's why it's a meme coin. It's not a good investment because there's no lack of it. Just like if there's like a rare piece of art, right? Picture Bitcoin is 21 million pieces of rare art, and there's never going to be more. So you want one of those pieces of art. But Dogecoin, it's like the artist just keeps printing nonstop. So that's why, as an investor, you want to buy things that are not going to be hyperinflated. That's why holding dollars has never been a dollar, and they print a lot less stocks. They make a lot less houses than the amount of dollars they print. So that's the issue with Doge. It's hyperinflationary, and it's cool to trade or to like learn with it, but it's definitely not a good investment. How to buy cryptocurrency right now is the easiest way in the planet. So every ad in the world is going to push you to use your bank account, you could email transfer, you could wire transfer, you can use your credit card these days. All things I don't personally recommend. I like to keep Bitcoin anonymous and on my terms. So it's not. And for example, Local Bitcoins is a platform that's been around 5+ years. And even when I was traveling the world, 2016, 17, there wasn't a city on this planet that didn't have several brokers through Local Bitcoins. And this was 4 years ago. Since then, I'm sure the demand's only escalated 10 times. And then you have actual physical brokers, like people who have these money exchanges. A lot of these money exchanges internationally now have a Bitcoin booth or a Bitcoin section or a cryptocurrency section. So I like for cash. And that's what I teach people. And then you can take your cash, put it in the bank, load it up with a prepaid card, whatever the case may be. That's the way I recommend people because it's on your terms and it stays pseudo-anonymous like that.
So Peter, so let me just make sure I understand this. So that you use you use a Bitcoin broker that allows you to use cash, and because you're, did I get that correct or not?
100%. And like I said, every city in the world, you have this option to go in and out, whether you're in Dubai, if you're in a small town, then only headache might be you have to travel to the local city. But there's not a country on this planet besides maybe Cuba and North Korea, just because of their whatever restrictions. Every other planet in this country, you go to a major city, there's 100% a Bitcoin broker.
Ah, so how does one find a Bitcoin broker, and do you attracts me to you and your knowledge and your advice is that I've never heard you put yourself first. Whenever you are sharing information about crypto, you are truly sharing it from the depths of your heart. You really want to see somebody prosper and benefit from the information that you share. And it's really selfless information that you give. And this is why I urge anybody out there to reach out to Peter. I don't know how he does a wonderful thing, but Peter, how does one get to find out where they should go? Can they contact you, or do they just look up Bitcoin broker on the internet? Well, how does it work?
Well, no. So like I said, the site is called Local Bitcoins if you're in smaller places. Like I said, non-major cities. But if you're in major cities and you just Google Bitcoin ATMs, Bitcoin brokers near me, there's an app called Bitcoin it's like ATM Radar or something like that. Go to an ATM and put in like $20, $100, whatever, and just learn the technology. Send it to different platforms. Maybe you get hacked. Maybe you lose it. Maybe you make a mistake. But that's the best way to start, right? So you don't have to necessarily find a broker. I would say learn the technology. And if you're in any major city, there's most likely Bitcoin ATMs. If not, then you go back to the broker. But you start off small. And then once you learn the technology, you get a base for it. For anyone that's going to invest serious money, don't Trezor is a great brand. Keep is a great brand. And there's others as well. So if you're putting in money that's investment money that's important to you, not money you're learning the technology, or something that's actually a chunk of your investment portfolio, buy this little USB stick for $100 or a few $100, depending on the brand you go with. You open up a Bitcoin wallet, which is think about it as a Bitcoin bank account, like you would on any other platform. And when you buy it off your broker ATM, you send your Bitcoin right off it never goes on the internet. It goes
Bitcoin. You know, you said something to me which was really powerful, and that's what allowed me to put that first bit of money into Bitcoin. And I asked, well, how much money should I be investing in Bitcoin? And your question was basically, what's your comfort level, right? What's your comfort level? What are you comfortable with being able to walk away from entirely if the market crashed? And that, but the question, the answer to the question was, how much are you comfortable, how much money are you comfortable with being able to walk away from if the market should completely crash? And if you ask yourself that question, I think you're going to obviously give yourself the answer. When I looked at how much money my mutual funds had dipped, and I'm still living and breathing, I thought, obviously I could Bitcoin. So that's what allowed me to decide what my first investment amount would be. But do you have another theory for what a first-time investment amount should look like?
So yeah, so I always highly recommend people. I always use this example. What would you spend on a really nice dinner out if a friend or a family member or a loved one came from out of town? So outside of the first thing you said, which is great, what are you willing to part with, right? And if you're already a accredited investor or investor with a big portfolio, huge investor portfolio, and you lose 1 or 2% of it, that's part of investing. That happens, that it fluctuates that much every day anyway, most likely. But if you put it into something like Bitcoin, and one day that could skyrocket and become 25% of your portfolio, it's worth the risk. There's not many investments that can start off as 1 to 2% of your portfolio if you already have a bunch of savings, and then you just wait 1, 2, 3 short years, and it jumps up to be 10, 20%. I've seen that with many, many people firsthand, where they put a tiny chunk, not think investors getting into it. Like Jackie said, find an amount you're comfortable with to lose. But I think more important is staying consistent going forward. So whether it's every week, every month, or bi-weekly, most likely do it on how you're paid. And if you're an entrepreneur and you get paid daily or whenever the money comes in, do it monthly or weekly, whatever the case may be, right? I would spend how much you would spend on that dinner out with a nice friend at least every month.
So you're saying that you can get into Bitcoin today for like
You might be like, you know what? It's expensive, but I'm going to still buy it. And you put the 250. Then all of a sudden you see it go from 65 to 35. But you know what? This month I think I could find 500 because you realize it's a deal, right? So it gets you kind of naturally more in the space, whether you want to be or not. And that way, you're way less likely to not lose your passwords. You're way most likely to keep an eye on it, keep it in a safe place. All these factors, because like a lot of people that put in money one time, forget about it years later, and then they can't access their password. That's the scale. Nobody to save you. It's gone, right? So that's the important part about not forgetting your passwords, not saving them on a computer that's easy to hack, not going into the most common one these days is people go to Google, type in the wallet they want, and they think they're logging into the actual website, but it was an ad they didn't notice. They type in their information and they actually get to go to the real website after. But that person just collected their information. They hold it for a matter of days, weeks, months, build a whole data, prepare you, and you will learn, which might be more valuable than the investment itself, right? The investment in learning this new technology that almost all human beings are going to be using. Put it this way, if you're using technology on any form, whether it be social media, whether it be email, you're going to be using this technology in 5, 10, 15 years. There's going to be a new layer of internet that's going to be built, and this is going to be the ground layer. And so people understand, for the younger people, we started with no technology, the older generation, and all this came in. And it seems awesome that we get to use YouTube fans, the value of their digital content. It's kind of silly that if we post a picture onto a platform, Facebook owns that picture, or Instagram, or that video you just put all your love and soul to, you don't own it. YouTube owns it on their platform. That's not going to be a world that's going to exist in the coming years. We're going to own our own digital content. And it's not going to start from baby boomers or even my generation. It's going to be the young kids that realize this value, and they're going to change the infrastructure of the internet, which has been long overdue.
Thank you so much for that. So, and we're just getting ready to wrap up the show, and I've got to say, Peter, what I'm seeing, I told you so, but for others like me, I'm actually feeling like a window of opportunity has reopened for me once again to get in on something that I was kicking myself about not getting into, 2 or 3 months ago. When cryptocurrency, no word of a lie, when crypto had hit like 65,000 US dollars, I was kicking myself thinking, how did I ever allow this to? I have seriously looked at it as another opportunity for me to get in while the markets correct itself. So for anybody out there who was thinking that maybe this is another signal for me that I can try this market out, who would you suggest that they reach out to for guidance? I know that I've got you, but can they reach out to you too? What are you suggesting?
So you can put up.com. Even easier if you go, at Gmail. And if you go to my website, Peter Ratnikov, it could be a little confusing. And I've already said this again, but I'm going to emphasize this for anyone that checks it out. Because you'll see my videos, you'll see my links to my social media, and then you'll see book a call and contact me. And if you're observant, you'll notice that in contact me, my phone number is there. And you can call me. Very nice, Canadian style. I'll listen. No matter how silly your question is, I'll guide you through it. Because again, you're paying for the consultation. I'm a nice guy. That's not the business I'm looking to grow, but I have it there as an option for people that don't feel comfortable enough to just call me. Some people don't have the skills we have, Jackie, to just pick up a phone and call, right?
Right.
So for the people that could call directly, make sure you do your research. I'm very
Peter
good at asking questions.
Ratnikov. So your name is on screen. Oh, Peter Ratnikov. And just say that say that again. Are they emailing you?
Yeah. So Peter Ratnikov.coin is. I'm gonna go tell you to go watch 10 hours of videos and then call me back. If you watch 1 hour of videos or 3 hours, after a 5 to 8 minute, maybe 3 minute conversation, I could tell you haven't done enough research, and I'm gonna call you out, and I'm gonna send you to do more research again. So that's the difference. Anyone's welcome to email me, call me, or book a call. It's just what kind of response are you looking for, right? And it's going to be a little bit more harsh if you call me direct because I value my time, right?
Yes.
So if we're maximizing the planet and ourselves by a conversation, man, I have all day. I'll spend 2 hours with you on the phone. But
Fantastic.
I don't have an extra 20 seconds if you call me and ask me a silly question you could have wanted.
Spending our money right now. What coin is the hottest coin right now, Peter? What's the coin that everybody should be looking out for right now? People say Ethereum. Some people are still saying Bitcoin. What's the coin that is on the move right now?
So when we talked about this new internet being built, there's lots of platforms or networks that are building thousands and hundreds of great companies and great infrastructures within them. So it's not like an index fund, so you understand it. It kind of is, though, by owning Ethereum, owning Binance token, owning Polkadot, owning Kux funds for this new internet. We don't know which one's going to boom. So definitely have the big portion of your portfolio in Bitcoin, especially as a new investor. I would say up to 50%, right? And then however you want to diversify, whether it be a big chunk into Ethereum, and if you want to go deeper, research these coins and don't start off with gambling. Don't just pick some small cap coin because someone on the internet told you that it's going to go 100 times. Buy the big safe projects first, understand them, learn them. NVI is another index fund for NFTs. NFTs are a hot new craze. It's not going away anytime soon. So that's kind of undervalued right now. Another smaller cap, but not mid cap, I should say, portfolio is called Woo, WOO. It's a trading platform, which is my opinion. If you look at the other values of their competitors, they're doing the same volume and they're worth about a fourth of what they should be. So there's not financial advice. Do your own research. As always, this is trading entertainment. But if you put in the work, there's tons of opportunity. So again, let me end off with this also. Anywhere from $100,000 to $400,000 a year, life-changing money. So if you don't have any income whatsoever, don't make an excuse. You have time. Everybody has that time or money. So if you have the time, learn to code. If you have a little bit of money and a little bit of time, this is the person that might have the research to research these small gems. Make sure you research at least a couple 100 hours on the whole space, and then anything you put your money to, at least spend one money into it, right? So bigger money, keep it in a safe place. Someone with less money and more time, dig deeper. Someone with no money, don't make an excuse. Learn to code. Learn to become a influencer, volunteer for somebody else, and eventually get a job and get paid in cryptocurrency. There's lots of other ways. Don't make it a stop just because the number seems high on the screen. And don't chase small number of coins because the number looks small. Look at the market cap, meaning what is the total value of 10,000 of them? You have to look at those kind of things and look at the whole market cap, right? This might be beyond most people, but research is the point. If you don't know what I'm saying, that means you have to spend more time researching the cryptocurrency space before investing big dollars into it, right?
Thank you, Peter. I couldn't thank you more. That was so awesome. I've learned even more than I did before, and you're out of my mouth. I say this to all of my trainees, to all of my entrepreneurs. There's two ways to get ahead. It's called money and time, okay? Now, if you've got both working simultaneously, you're a rock star. But I guarantee that everyone has got at least some time. Okay, so once again, thank you so much, Peter, for being our guest on the Ordinary People Show today. Cryptocurrency, fact or fiction? I think it's become a part of the movement, money-making movement of cryptocurrency. Listen, we'll be back next week, same time, same place, right here on the Ordinary People Show with another outstanding guest. While we depart our ways, have an absolutely fantastic week. Enjoy the sunshine. The countdown is on. The lockdown is almost done. We will get out of this together, ladies and gentlemen. Cheers.
My name is Carol, and I'm currently a project coordinator. I took the project management course. I learned a number of things, one of which was interview skills. I learned about the agile framework and how that's very different from the waterfall model of project management.
At Top Run Consulting, the key unique area that we try to focus on is not to just impart certification knowledge, but the application of real-world tools.
Back in June 2017, I did the business analysis course at Top Run. I learned the basic and advanced skills and tools to be successful in business analysis field.
My name is Carol, and I'm currently a project coordinator. I took the project management course. I learned a number of things, one of which was interview skills. I learned about the agile framework and how that's very different from the waterfall model of project management.
At Top Run Consulting, the key unique area that we try to focus on is not to just impart certification knowledge, but the application of real-world tools.
Back in June 2017, I did the business analysis course at Top Run. I learned the basic and advanced skills and tools to be successful in business analysis field.
My name is Carol, and I'm currently a project coordinator. I took the project management course.